Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please be my friend and tap that like button and subscribe to my channel so we can be friends. You know what I wanted to talk about today? I wanted to talk about the fact that people treat poor people very poorly. Now, I could give examples from my life, for instance, and it's just like growing up until now, I've been really paying close attention. You know what I mean? Close attention to the way the respect people have for people with a lot of money and the respect people have for people with not much money, right? And it's like light and day. When people see that you're in a position that you can't afford much, they take like full advantage of that, They talk down on you, they make jokes about you, they rub it in your face, they make you feel less of a person, and kind of make the situation worse by doing these things, right? And then the moment you have money, all of a sudden, everything has changed. Now they want to be your friend, right? I remember being in church and homeless people would walk in off the streets and ask for food, because after church everybody would cook from their home, and then after church we'd all have a potluck downstairs, right? They'd put all the stuff together and everybody would go downstairs and eat. I usually didn't eat with them because I didn't feel comfortable eating with them, so I would usually go home or I'd go to my grandparents' house or whatever. But people would come in off the streets and they would run them like a dog. Like, why are you here? You should see the looks on their faces. They would never give them food. Never. It was never a safe place for them to go. Never. Sorry guys, that's a cat playing with some kind of a toy right now in the middle of me making a video. But yeah, it was never a safe place. I could even remember, even with me, if I were to go to, that's why, I think the very last time I visited my grandmother, I was wearing some boots, and she said, I was admiring those boots when the PSW came earlier, but you have them, they must be cheap. And then started laughing. That was the last time I ever visited her. Not for that exact reason, but I'm just giving you small examples, right? Like when people know that you don't have the funds to afford extravagant things, they like to pick little fun at you, pick at you. I remember being in McDonald's once when I was 20, okay? I was struggling because I was a single mom of two at that point, I was still trying to work things out with my daughter's father, but he found out that I was on welfare, and the way he treated me, it's not like he was helping me, mind you. Mind you, it's not like he was helping me. Gotta put that out there. It's not like he gave me a cent or even said, here, let me help you buy your crib. Nothing, you know what I mean? And he found out that I was on welfare, and the way he treated me, I remember, I was in McDonald's one day and I pulled out, how they mail you those little McDonald's coupons? I pulled out coupons to buy both of us food. Yes, I was like a pick-me. I don't know why I was always buying him stuff, but I was just trying to, I don't know, I was always trying to people please and, trying to do things so other people would like me. So yes, I was buying him food, and I pulled out the coupons because they're coupons, and he made such a big scene and walked out of that McDonald's and left me in there he was making it look like I was so it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. And that memory came to me yesterday, and I'm like, man, I gotta talk to my friends about this memory, because it's wow, and I remember even him, everything he seen me, are those your welfare underwear? Is that welfare? Is that welfare? Is that welfare? Everything was an issue, It's not like he was helping me, mind you. Like I said again, I don't know where these people expected me to get money from. It's not like they wanted to help me even watch their own kids, but, and the best part is, with him, I was so shocked. People always say, that, you know what you chose. When I had my son, that man babysat my son. That man helped me with my son. It was the moment I got pregnant for his daughter that everything changed. So it's that's why I always tell people, don't listen to the fool outsiders, because they don't even know what these men be lying. Like, they're literally transformers, like literally transformers. The man lied for years. Like years. So, like, because the way he was when I first had when I had my son is not the way he was when I had his daughter. And then the way he treated my son before I had his daughter, you know, it's night and day, right? They're just evil. So, you know, I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, even the way family treated me, relative, you know, like people, like friends, you know, they all looked down on me. I was never like somebody that was treated with respect. I was the one, and I believe that I did something noble, you know, like when I was 15, you know, I kept my son and I was trying to do the right thing and be a stand-up person. But what I didn't realize at that time was I was going into a life of like, just, you know, I dealt with so much poverty, and I didn't realize, because I was a child, you know, I was a child having a child. I didn't realize that that's what I was stepping into. I didn't realize that the help was not going to be there at all. Like, I didn't realize that I would have no one to turn to and no help, you know? And so it was a shocker to me the way people treated poor people. I've heard so much things, like even, and then I noticed it's like the poor people who have to be helping poor people. Like, people with money, they're not interested in helping poor people. That's what I've noticed. And I find it very odd. Like, I had this person I used to speak to, and she seen this mother of 4 sleeping in a tent, and she welcomed her into her home. She didn't have much of a home, but she welcomed her into the home that she had. And her 4 children, you know, and I told somebody else that's supposed to be middle class about that noble deed, like, you know, like that was, because that was her daughter's best friend. And she did such a, for me, like, nobody would do that, you know. Nobody would see a mother suffering on the streets with her 4 kids and pick her up and bring her into their home. And that middle class person was just so disgusted by that act. Like, ew, why would you bring her into her home? And I'm just, what I said to her, you know, that girl who brought that woman and her kids has to be an angel, because a heart like that is what we all need in society. We don't need people who are being, you know, disgusting towards other people that are in need of help. You know, people always find reasons to talk down on people. Oh, well, why don't you have money? Nobody helps people who are in poverty. Don't you see? Like, no, they don't want to help. You know, they like to see you in poverty so they can feel like they have the upper hand. They can have one up on you. That's been my experience. I'm 31, and that's been my experience. I've watched it happen. You know, even like when the officers go to the poverty-stricken areas or certain areas, they treat the people like absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. They don't care about your misery. No, they don't. Even like the things that happen to your kids and stuff, the police officers do not care, because they see you as just your environment, you know. Like, they go to a little, you know, what's it called? A housing building or whatever. And that's why I moved out, because I noticed a lot of, but even when I moved out, the energies still linger. Like, I still notice it in other areas too, but not as bad. Like, it's not as bad as when you're in housing, and like, they treat you poorly. Even like the building people treat you poorly. Like, they always try to find reasons to, like, you know, threaten you, and like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, poor people get treated poorly all the time. I even remember being in church and hearing the people, they were literally making testimonies about why we should not be giving money to poor people on the street begging. Literally. Oh, they're able-bodied, and that same young older woman I used to hang out with, she would even say, how do you know they're able-bodied? Because she was a social worker too, you know? And it would bother her because, like, her and I were very similar, you know what I mean? And so it would bother her, and it would bother me, and we would just listen to these people speak about these people in you know, harsher situations, and there's no sympathy. They don't care, you know what I mean? And I feel like we need people with bigger hearts. People need to start really opening up their hearts, you know what I mean? Helping. Look, there's a bird that, you know, flew on my porch as I said that. Have a bigger heart. You know, we need to love each other more. if we all realize that we're all source having, like, first of all, everyone's supposed to know that God's within us, right? So if we know that God's within every one of us, why wouldn't you want to help somebody with God in them? Why would you just walk away from that person in need of help? Like, the things I've seen, the things I've experienced, the shame I've dealt with, it's like, it's awful. Like, it's actually awful. Like, people will literally take full advantage of you knowing that you are in a poor situation and that you can't do better. Literally, like, they can't wait to take advantage of you. That's why I'm so, like, I really, really teach my kids everything that I teach them. That's why I spend so much time with them. That's why I do everything that I do, because it's like, I refuse for my kids to be in the same situation that I was in. You know what I mean? I refuse to let society treat them the way I was treated. Sometimes it's so hard for me to even, like, believe that I was treated the way I was treated, you know? But I was. I definitely was. You know? People treat you like shit when they know that you don't have money like that. That's just the reality of things. But hopefully, I'm hoping that with all these changes, there will be a new future, you know, a new earth where people have hearts. People open up their hearts. They're nicer to people. They treat them with love. They're more caring. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to more love, you know, more love. We need to start, like, really opening up our hearts and spreading love to people and helping people. Like, help is something that a lot of people don't get in society. That's why there's so much depression, you know? Even when people try to reach out for help, there's no help there. There's all these helplines, but the helplines don't really help. So it's like, hey, that's that video. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me rant on. Just wanted to get that off my chest, you know? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
In the forest deep and green, fairies dance like shadows seen.